Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Janet and in today's video I'm going to create a hexagon table topper to match the fall placemats I just made. There are two different sizes, but for the tutorial I'll be demonstrating the larger option. To start, you'll need to cut 4 different strips of fabric cut on the fold about 2.5 inches wide each. I was using the scraps of fabric I had left, so I ended up having to do the first process twice. You'll take the first strip right side up and the second strip right side down on top of it. With a 1/4 inch seam allowance, sew a straight line from top to bottom on one side. Then you'll take the next strip of fabric, both strips right side down, and straight stitch from top to bottom. Repeat this step with all 4 strips of fabric. Once you're done stitching all 4 pieces together, head on over to your ironing board to press the seams flat on both sides. If your fabric has some stretch to it, pull the seams as you're pressing it. This will help the seams lay flatter. In the next step, you'll need a cutting mat with ruler and a rolling blade. Place your fabric on the cutting mat, matching the top of the fabric to the top line on the mat, then extend the end of your fabric over the edge just enough so you can cut in a straight line. Lay the ruler on top, matching the top and side of it with the edge of the cutting mat. Roll your blade next to the ruler to trim the fabric. Do this on both ends. Next, find a line on your cutting mat that shows a 60-degree angle. Place the edge of your fabric on the end of the mat, matching up the edge of the fabric with the straight lines on the cutting mat. Place the ruler down on the corner of the fabric, going up the 60-degree line. Run your blade next to the ruler to cut your first angle. Flip the fabric over and match the corner up again. Place your ruler down on the 60-degree line and roll your blade again to get your second triangle. Repeat this process a total of 6 times so you have 6 total triangles. Once you have your 6 triangles, lay them out and place together how you would like them to look when sewn together. Take a middle piece and a side piece and match them right sides together. Sew a straight line on the right side from top to bottom. Lay out flat and then take the left piece, place it right sides together with the middle piece again, and sew on the opposite side from top to bottom. Repeat these steps with the 3 pieces on top. Once the 3 pieces on the bottom and 3 pieces on the top are sewn together, place the 2 larger sewn pieces right sides together and sew down the middle from top to bottom. Do note the pinning or clipping these pieces into place will help match up the seams. Some of my seams didn't match up perfectly, but I think it just gives it a little character. What do you think? It's time to head on over to the ironing board again to press all the seams flat on both sides. We're preparing to do our top stitching next. Starting at the top of one of the points, on the right side of the seam, sew a straight stitch from top to bottom, leaving your needle in the fabric at the end. Lift your presser foot, pivot your fabric, and sew 1 to 3 stitches. Then leave the needle in the fabric again, pivot your fabric, and straight stitch all the way down the other side of the seam. Repeat this on all 6 points on either side of each seam. Now we're going to be straight stitching around the other seams. Follow the same process we just did from point to point, but this time you'll be sewing around the hexagon next to each seam. Leave your needle in the fabric, pivot just enough to start sewing down the next seam, and repeat this until you meet the beginning of the top stitch that you were working on. Sew this straight stitch on either side of each seam, going around until all top stitching is complete. For your backing fabric, you can place your top piece on top of it and draw a line 1 inch out all the way around the backing. Cut the piece out. On one side, fold up the fabric 1/2 inch, then 1/2 inch again. Pin or clip into place. Repeat this all the way around. At the corners, it will look similar to a mitered corner. Back at the sewing machine, you'll sew a straight stitch as close to the edge as you can, sewing the folded edge and the front fabric together. And here's the finished product. Now, wasn't that easy? Choose different fabrics and scraps for any time of the year and for any tabletop. Here's the topper we just sewed. It measures 17 inches from point to point. The smaller one measures 12 inches from point to point. This is my table without the topper. And here's my table with each of the toppers. If you've liked the content you've watched today, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. It's free and it'll notify you when new content is published. Thanks for watching.